You did a great job back in lesson 1. Well done. In our next lesson, we'll talk about euphemisms. In other words, saying bad things in a nice way. Pay attention, please. It can be extremely helpful. Okay, euphemisms. A euphemism is a polite way to say something that could sound impolite, even offensive, if said with total honesty. You probably know that manners are very important for us Brits. Brits don't say we're angry and we're disappointed. And if you tell a Brit that you have an insane idea like opening a hair salon for pigs, he or she might not say to your face, "That's an insane idea." They'll say, "That's a very brave suggestion." Our lovely euphemisms, what would we do without them? So how do we express a negative opinion in a polite way? Instead of saying he is an awful cook, for example, we say he's not the best cook in the world. Nicer. I have an idea. Alicia?
Hiya.
Hi, Alicia. Let's play a bit. You give an honest opinion about something or someone, and I have to express it with a euphemism. Okay?
Sounds like fun. Okay. I met this boy the other day. I don't like him. He's really rude.
I would say he isn't the politest person I've ever met.
He's very full of himself because he works on a TV show, but he's not a very famous TV presenter.
So he is not the most famous presenter on TV.
And by the way, he's a very ugly boy.
He's not the most good-looking boy I've ever seen. Great. You can also find euphemistic ways to say things by using opposite adjectives. For instance,
This boy, by the way, is really short.
this boy is not very tall.
He says he speaks 7 languages, but he's terrible at English.
His English isn't perfect.
And his TV show is very boring.
His TV show isn't very entertaining. Fantastic. Thanks, Alicia.
You're welcome.
Oh, here's a euphemistic sentence that I like a lot. That's a very creative version of the truth. This is a very euphemistic way to say that's not exactly what happened. And this one, you're being quite economical with the truth. It basically means you're not telling the whole truth, or even you're lying. Great sentences, aren't they? Euphemisms are widely used in the English language to talk about delicate issues. Here are some very common ones. Adult drinks means alcoholic drinks. An early retirement is what you get when you're fired and you're over 60. The birds and the bees is the metaphor we use to talk about how to make babies. To powder one's nose sounds very ladylike, but it's what we say when we need to go to the toilet. Okay, we've finished our lesson about euphemisms. This was easy sailing, wasn't it? It's nice to have some fun after a grammar lesson. I know grammar is not everyone's cup of tea. See you in lesson 3.
The verb to resume means to begin again what you were doing or to continue with it after a pause. It's a verb that can be tricky because in some languages it sounds very similar to the verb that means to summarize. You must be careful not to mix them up. Look at this example. We'll resume the meeting after a 10-minute break. It means that we're having a meeting, but we'll have a break and then we will continue with the meeting. Important verb in work environments, to resume.